Day. Do you remember Marley the Mouse? Hello, boys and girls. And this morning, Marley has another story to tell us. But first of all, I have a question. Who here has ever been fishing and caught a fish? Yeah, me neither. Aaliyah's been fishing and caught a fish. Wow. Who here likes to eat fish? Hands up if you like to eat fish. Yeah, me too. In this story, there are lots and lots and lots of fish, more fish than you can count. But I don't want to spoil the story, so I'm going to hand over to Marley. Boys and girls, you won't believe what I'm going to tell you this morning. One night, I was feeling very sleepy, and I found a nice, cozy place to rest, curled up in the corner of a boat. I made myself nice and comfortable after my long, busy day. But suddenly, I was woken up by loud voices and the boat started moving. Uh-oh. Some men got into the boat and they started rowing out to sea. By the time I realized what was happening, we were already out on the sea, and I'm not a very good swimmer. I was a bit worried. Boys and girls, are you good at swimming? Hands up who can swim here. Yeah, some of you are good at swimming. I can't swim. So I just had to stay where I was in the boat. And as the men were talking here, I realized that they were Jesus' friends. One of them was very bossy and he wanted to be in charge. His name was Peter. I think the boat belonged to him. And they wanted to go fishing. They had some great big nets with them, like this, and they were throwing the nets out into the water to try and catch some fish. They would throw them out, and then they waited and waited and waited. And then they brought the nets back in and looked to see if there were any fish there. But do you know, there were no fish. And then the poor men were a bit sad and a bit cross. And they sailed on a little bit further and they threw the nets out into the boat again, into the sea again. And they sat down and waited and waited. But still no fish. All night long they fished and fished, but they didn't catch anything. And you know, the fish were really important for these men. That was how they earned their money. They went out fishing and they caught fish, and some of the fish they ate. And some of them they sold to have money so they could buy the other things they needed. But that night they didn't catch anything. Their nets were empty. No fish at all. They felt very sad. Boys and girls, have you ever felt like that? You try really, really hard to do something, but it doesn't work. It's not a very nice feeling. But then it started to get light. It was nearly morning. And the men saw a man standing on the beach. And he waved to them and called out, "Hello! Have you caught any fish?" And Peter shouted back, "No, no fish at all. We've been fishing all night and we have nothing." And then the man said, "Why don't you throw your nets on the other side? Then you'll catch some fish." How silly. Do you think there would be fish there? They were fishing all night and they didn't catch anything. But they decided to do what the man said. They threw their nets out again on the other side of the boat. And guess what happened? They suddenly caught so many fish that they couldn't pull the nets back into the boat. They were so full. I tried to count the fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, look how many fish they caught. I couldn't count them all. There were too many. And then Peter realized that the man on the beach was Jesus. It was their friend Jesus. He came to help them. And suddenly they had lots and lots of fish. They were so excited to see him. And they sailed quickly back to shore. And there on the boat was Jesus waiting for them, and he had built a campfire like this, and he made breakfast for them. They had lots of fish and bread to eat for breakfast. They had a picnic on the beach with Jesus. Imagine that. Have you ever had a picnic on the beach? Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I love picnics. And I even got to eat some of the bread and the fish that fell on the ground. It was a really good day for me. And most of all, it was a great day because I learned that Jesus is always there to help and provide for us. When his friends couldn't catch any fish by themselves, Jesus came and helped them. And in the end, they had loads more fish than they needed. And that's a really good thing to remember. Jesus is always ready to help us, and he loves to give us all the things that we need. Well, that's the end of my story for today. So I'm going to say bye-bye, boys and girls. See you next time.